Am I the asshole for wanting to attend the funeral of a girl I helped get addicted to spices? I am 26 years old and have been clean from spices for 3 years. I was also a terrible person and used to deal spices for a while. I managed to get together with a beautiful girl named Marcy when I first started getting deeply involved in spices. She knew who I was, but she said she loved me. I will regret this for the rest of my life, but I was the person who introduced spices to Marcy for the first time. After that, there was no stopping her. She stayed with me, probably because I was her spice merchant more than anything, but then I got clean and did not see her again for a long time. A year ago, she reached out to me on Facebook and told me that she had been clean for a few months. She said that she did not hate me for what happened and hoped I was still clean. Last week, I received a call from my sister who told me that she saw on Facebook that Marcy had passed away from spices, and there was a funeral service this upcoming Thursday. I immediately burst into tears because I hoped this would never happen, and I feel so much guilt over it. I want to attend the funeral service for her, but I am afraid that my presence would be unwanted. At most, I would just slip in the back, pay my respects, and leave. I need to do this for myself. Am I the asshole for wanting to attend? Reddit verdict: asshole. Top comments. Comment: you are not the asshole for wanting to attend, but you would be the asshole if you did attend. Your presence would not be welcomed. Go mourn privately somewhere else. Also, edited to add, it is a selfish move to use this opportunity to do this for yourself, as you put it. Her family is not holding a funeral to lessen the guilt of the person who got her child addicted to spices. Find something else to do for yourself. Maybe talk about it at an NA meeting or something. Answer: agreed. The original poster did enough. I would be furious if my brother's spice merchant had the audacity to show up at my brother's funeral. Mourn elsewhere. Comment: you are the asshole. If her family is aware that you started her on that path and they will be hurt to see you at the funeral, then do not attend. The family's feelings matter significantly more than your feelings. Comment: if you attend, you are the asshole. Sorry, friend. Hear me out, because I'm saying this with experience. I, unfortunately, have had to deal with more than one spice issue in my life, and even more unfortunately, had to cut more than one spice issue out of my life. You can only help someone so much. After a while, it gets to the point where you are enabling the spice issues, and if they will not make the effort to let you help them into recovery, then you just have to cut ties. If you have never been there, you cannot fully understand. Anyway, I seriously resent those who exposed my once close friends to spices initially. No one is special, no one will not get hooked, and you knew that when you gave her spices for the first time. You knew the pain, you knew the withdrawals, and you knew the danger you were putting her in. You exposed someone you supposedly cared about to it. Her friends and family know you knew all that when you gave her spices for the first time. They hate you, friend, and do not want you there. Do not attend. I am genuinely glad that you got clean. I know it's not easy. The fact that you are clean is only going to make the situation worse for her friends and family. You have your life, she does not. Do not pour salt into their fresh wounds. Attending would be the most selfish thing you can do right now. Find another way to cope and get closure. I wish you well in your recovery. Getting clean from spices is no small feat. You should be proud in that regard, but you need to pay your respects in another way, privately. Comment: assuming that her family and friends know your role in all this, you are the asshole. You want to attend just to ease your guilty conscience. Think about what they are suffering. Comment: you are not the asshole for wanting to attend. That shows regret, which is warranted. But you are the asshole if you actually attend. Let the family mourn. Comment: your presence is definitely unwanted. Let her family grieve without having to cope with seeing you alive next to her coffin. You are the asshole. Comment: you are not the asshole. My daughter has struggled with spice issues. Steve is the man who introduced her to spices for the first time. She was 16 and he was 36. Should she die and he show up, I would wish him luck making it out of the building. He would be very badly hurt by family members. His being sober would mean absolutely nothing. Congratulations on getting sober. She made her choice to let you introduce her to spices. Always remember that. You helped her, but you did not force her into spices. That said, let the family grieve the situation that they have played over and over again in their heads. They are grieving the person they lost when she fell into spice issues. They do not need to be reminded of how her death happened or how it started. Nothing good would come of it if you attended. Do not let this be an excuse to relapse either. Keep yourself together. Comment. Poor word choice. You can have whatever feelings you want, but you are the asshole if you attend. It would only hurt her family to see you there, assuming they know the role you played in her trajectory. It does not matter what their rational reaction should be. They are hurting and have been throughout her spice issues. You can try to be as discreet as you want, but still somebody will see you and everything will fall apart. It might hurt, but the only way to make amends to her family would be to stay clear of the funeral. If they wanted you there, they would tell you. You would not be finding out from someone else's Facebook, at least. Comment. You are the asshole. I am also 3 years clean, so I understand spice issues. I am a recovery coach now as well. When I used, I never brought anyone else down with me. But if I had, and then I found out they died, I would not have the audacity to show up at the funeral. You said it yourself. You want to attend for your own selfish reasons. Okay, but her death has nothing to do with you, so do not make it about you. Her family is already going to have an awful time that day as it is. They do not need it made worse with you showing up. A man I dated was the one who got me into spices, though I did not know how deep into the scene he was at first. I have forgiven him because I cannot blame someone else for my spice issues. But I posed this question to my mother. How would she feel if I died and he showed up? Her reaction was what I expected. She would lose her temper and take the opportunity to confront him. Thus, the entire day would end up being about him instead of the person people are trying to mourn. When we are in active spice issues, we are incredibly selfish. When we get sober, it's important to work on not being so self-absorbed. The act of attending the funeral, that would be incredibly selfish, and it sounds like you need to take a step back and reevaluate some things. Just because we are 3 years sober does not mean we are perfect and have no work left to do, and it sounds like this particular area is one in which you could still do some work. Please do not attend. Figure out your own way to say goodbye if it is that important to you. Unexpected update. I want to sincerely thank everyone who commented. Everyone's comments were appreciated, including those that were less than pleasant. Since I received such great advice on my original post, I felt like I had an obligation to update, and I am trying to follow through on all aspects of my life, even internet ones. The funeral service was held this past Thursday. Before then, I brought all the advice I received online and discussed it in the real world with both my therapist and sponsor about how I was feeling and what I should do. My sponsor was straightforward with me and told me that I would be putting myself in danger by attending and that I should do something else that day to grieve. When Thursday arrived, I was a mess. I seriously considered both attending the funeral or using spices again, but instead I took my dog and we went on a road trip. We went to the beach and just spent time together, the two of us. I am doing okay this week, but obviously I am still not doing great. I have not reached out to any of Marcy's family, and I do not plan to. I understand now how devastating that would be. That is all. Take care, everyone. Write what you think about this situation. Who did the right thing, and who is the asshole? Let's discuss it in the comments. In the meantime, let's move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for bringing up my brother's premature birth at Christmas dinner to get my parents to shut up? I am a nurse practitioner, and I am the primary care provider for many of the low-risk maternity cases at the practice where I work. I also work closely with the doctors and midwives to ensure a healthy maternity, birth, and postpartum experience. My fiancée is completing her residency. We live together and have been doing so for a few years now. We are not in any hurry to get married. We originally had plans to do so a couple of years ago, but then we got really busy for 2 years. It is driving my very religious parents crazy that their youngest son is living in sin. I do not really care. I'm an adult and I do what I want. We are getting married in June. So, we are visiting my parents for Christmas. The way it came together this year, everyone is at my parents' house. That includes my parents, my 3 siblings, myself and my fiancée, and 7 grandchildren. So, 17 people in total. At dinner, my mom starts going on about how she is so glad that we are finally getting married and she will not be embarrassed at church anymore. My dad says how proud he is of his 3 older children who all either waited to get married before moving in together or got married right away after moving in together. My fiancé was getting embarrassed, and I was getting mad over this stupid argument we have had too many times. A family dinner was the last straw. I have asked them repeatedly to just accept that they cannot control how I live my life. I refuse to stay with them when I visit, even if I come alone. Hotels are just easier. So I started talking about a premature baby I had been reading about. It was almost 3 months premature and weighed about 1.6 pounds. It was very strong and healthy for being born so small, and the neonatal intensive care unit had high hopes for the baby doing well. My mom and dad both got deer-in-the-headlights looks on their faces. Too bad. They should not have messed around with my fiancé's feelings. So, I asked about my oldest brother. He was born almost 4 months premature. Is there a chance that we could check out the family album where we keep all the records of family births and such? I already know my brother was over 9 pounds and almost 23 inches long when he was born. My grandmother told me all about it the first time my parents tried to shame me. The subject gets changed very quickly. After supper, my parents told me that I should not try to embarrass them with private matters that are not my concern. I told them that if I heard anything about my living arrangements ever again for the rest of my life, I would make sure to keep bringing up the fact that my mom was in her 2nd trimester when they got married. My parents are mad at me for telling them how to behave in their own home, but my fiancé is happy that they seem to be off the subject for good. Am I the asshole? Reddit verdict, not the asshole. Top comments. Comment. Not the asshole. That was beautifully handled. You did not call them out and embarrass them, but you stood your ground. I did laugh out loud when you said where you got your blackmail information. Grandma had that in her pocket for a long time, I am guessing. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding, Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a great New Year. Comment. Not the asshole. My grandmother used to say, the first baby after marriage can come anytime, the second one always takes 9 months. Next time they give you grief, discuss how comfortable the back seat of your dad's old car was. Comment. Not the asshole. They deserved that for their hypocritical Christianity. Comment. Not the asshole. I absolutely love this. My own judgmental grandmother pretended to be oh-so moral in the old-fashioned sense. My father accidentally revealed that she was pregnant when she got married to my grandfather. That was incorrect. She was not pregnant at all. My oldest uncle was about 7 months old when they got married, laughing my ass off. And why could they not get married sooner? My grandfather had to get divorced from his first wife first. It is often the people with the most to hide who enjoy judging others for things that are none of their business. Comment. I was absolutely lost when you said his size and weight at 4 months premature. Then I had a moment of realization and very much laughed as I realized what you had done. Well played indeed. Not the asshole. What do you think about this situation? Who do you think is a jerk, and who did the right thing? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel to get more cool and interesting stories. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.